One of the things you can do to customize your Access environment is to change the default theme, and by default it's going to be white. Like you got the white title bar blending in with the white ribbon, navigation pane, and so on. If you want to go ahead and change that, make it more contrasting so it doesn't blend in, and actually distinguish between some of the elements within the Access environment, then come up here and click on the File tab to go backstage, go down to Options, and then by default the General tab is selected. Just come down here to Office Theme, and you can see the default's white. Ooh, look at all those options. We get light gray and dark gray. Unlike the previous versions of Office, where you actually have the color blue, you just get different shades here of gray. So let's go ahead and choose something very contrasting from white, like dark gray. Click Okie dokie, and it's very subtle in Access, except for the File tab. It's no longer in the pretty reddish color there. Instead, it turns to black. When you click File to go backstage, it's all black back here. And not only does it change it within Access, but it updates the entire Office theme. So if I open up, like, let's say PowerPoint or Excel or Word, let me open up Excel, you can see the dark gray there with the black File tab. So actually, if I come in Excel and I go File, down to its options, and from the General tab, come down to Office theme and change it back to white and click Okie dokie, updates Excel and also all the other Office programs like Access. We can come back here and click on the back arrow button to go back to the front stage. And then when it comes to creating databases, if you have a folder that you want to dump all your creations into when you initially create them, well, by default it's going to be the Documents folder. Let me show you. Click on the File tab, go back to Options, and by default, again, the General tab is selected. Then just come down here. The default database folder is going to be the Documents. So when I click on Create New, it's going to default to that address there. If I want to default it to a new address, go ahead and choose something else. Let's click Cancel and create a new database by clicking on File, going down to New. Of course, we'll have another training video on creating a new database, but this is to go over this point here. And let's do blank desktop database, and there's the address to the Documents folder. You can always change that and click Browse, then find another folder, but let's click Cancel. If we have a folder that we're always going to be dumping our databases into when we create them initially, then let's not waste that extra step and click on Browse. Let's just have it point right to that folder. Like maybe my exercises folder on the desktop, so let's go ahead and close out. Again, go back to Options, and then from the General tab, we'll browse from Documents to our desktop in the navigation pane, and then over in the main view, we'll go ahead and double click the exercises folder. You can see it up here in the address bar. Click Okie dokie, and you can see the address is pointing right to that exercises folder. So click OK, and then when we go File, to New, and click on Blank Database, it points right to the exercises folder. Click Create, it'll put it right into that folder. Cool. And then come up here and click back to get back to where we started.